show you a video of how we're gonna make this look shiny. There is many ways to do it. You can sand it down, or like with ABS that you can just take an acetone, smooth it out. But I'm gonna show you how we're gonna sand it down, and then we're gonna polish it with a 3M cutting compound. This is the project I'm working on. This is printed in HIPS filament. Every filament will sand and act differently when you try to polish, sand or cut or do whatever you want. I believe that PLA is the most difficult just because it melts very easy and very low temperature. This melts at around 260 degrees, so this will be much easier to work. I do like how it sands down. I already make a little bit sanding so we can see, so we can skip some of the parts. But yeah, PLA and other plastic may act differently in the technique I'm gonna show you today. But as long as you're taking care of, it should be fine. Like I said, you have to take care of the temperature. Like, do not stay in one spot too long, because you're gonna heat the plastic and you're gonna melt right through. So let's start this one. You can use, of course, power tools or low RPM or high RPM. Just move it around all over the body. And I sanded this one already with, I started with 80 grit. You can go to 60, but you will just eat too much material. You can use hand files if you want. I did in some areas, like in the corner, just to make it a little bit smoother. And like I said, we're gonna start with 80. I already started, with 80. And then we're gonna go to 120, 180, and then we're gonna try to polish. So let's do that. Again, don't stay much in one side, just because you will heat up the plastic and you will disturb it. Then we go to the polishing part. So we're gonna use 1500 wet sandpaper, 2000 sandpaper, and 3000 sandpaper, and of course water. As you can see, even without polishing, it's already a little bit shiny than before. And like I said, this is HIPS plastics. I don't know why it's doing like different discolorations all over the body, but that's what we're gonna work with. And like I said, this is a tool. I do not want it to be like perfectly shine, but if you're doing like I don't know, like a model or something, and you really want it to be shine, I highly recommend sanding it really good on the beginning. This is an experiment just to see if you can do it, but usually, like you see, I lost some detail here just because I sanded too down. You may lose some details, you may lose some thickness of the part. Usually you should primer it, put the color, put the clear, and then sand it down. But if you're doing it just like I'm doing it with just the plastic, I highly recommend sanding all the lines, because like you see here, there's a lot of lines that I left in. And using, like I said, you can start with 80, 120, 180, then 300, and then 600 would be the best. Or even not to use the 800. It's faster to use the 80 first. But if you can avoid it, better to avoid it, just because it will leave you a lot of lines in your part. But yeah, let's polishing. I will be using 3M Perfect Ultra Fine. You can see the code here if you want to get this one. And let's see what state we can get it. You can use like a Dremel polisher, you can use on a drill or whatever. I do not have anything that's low RPM, so it will not burn the plastic in. I will just use a microfiber cloth. It works just fine. Shake it really good. Sometimes you will have a little bit of stuff here. It's good to clean it. And then let's apply, and let's see what results can we get. see, this is your final product. It has a really nice shine to it. You can see yourself in that, as you can see. As you can see here. Let me get something so I can show you. And you can see. Looks like glass. Like I said, just because this isn't painted or clear coated, you're gonna have, of course, the lines of the plastic when it was printing. So because this part was printing like that, so you can see a lot of lines here. So like I said, this isn't probably the best thing to do when you want to have a really nice and clear product. I would recommend painting and clear coating it, or just clear coating the actual plastic itself. Maybe it will work better, because doing it with this method, like I said, you're gonna expose all the lines. I did it just because I wanted to expose them. I wanted it to look like that, like, you know, forge or whatever. I wanted it to look like that. And like I said, every plastic will react differently. PLA may react different to it. This is HIPS plastic, so, and it's really nice to work with. Like I said, you can sand it a little bit more to get rid of most of those lines and tattoo and things. But like I said, just because it's printed like that, and there is always will be lines in it, you cannot, difficult to get rid of them. Especially this plastic prints much more different from PLA. This prints with sometimes you have a separation. I had a separation here, so I glue it. So yeah, this is the final result. Let me show you a little bit better here. Like I said, you can see yourself in it. You can see, as you can see my hand. That's as best as a result I think you're gonna get from this one. There's a lot of lines here, as you can see from the sanding. This is probably, like I said, I didn't want it to be perfect, so I did not made it perfect. But you can polish plastic for sure. You will just have to live with the lines that it will leave. You can see my light up. Like I said, you can see yourself. That's usually what we're looking for. You can see my finger there. You can see the reflection. You can see it here. You can see all the lines when it was printing. Here, I wanted this. It looks really nice. It would be a really nice piece to have. I did not do much attention here just because I wanted to have a little bit of grip. You will spend a lot of time trying to sand this one down and trying to polish it, instead of just, you know, clear coating it or painting it and then clear coating and sanding and polishing it like that. But if you like this kind of look that you can see a little bit of the lines, because you will never be able to, probably, if you maybe with ABS or something that you can smooth it with acetone and then try to sand it and polish, maybe there you're gonna have better results. But with this one, like I said, I didn't have any luck with acetone to make it a little bit smoother, so you basically, it will melt the lines and to have a little bit better results. But I'm happy with how it came out. I really like how you can see the difference in the color and the lines. I wanted to have like a forged carbon look, and it does look like that. So let's do a recap. This is done with, like I said, 80, 120, 180, 1500 wet sanding, 2000 wet sanding, and 3000 wet sanding, and then ultra fine 3M polishing compound. It looks, I like how it looks. If you want it to be like clear, like I said, I recommend painting it, clear coating it, sanding it. I would recommend, if you're trying to do this one, from 180 try to move to 300, and then maybe from 300 to 600 to remove any lines that the sandpaper will leave. Be careful when you're sanding it to create much more heat, just because you will destroy the plastic, especially if you're doing it with PLA. I believe every plastic will have the same procedure. I don't think so PLA will act differently, but it may. I may do a video how to do it with the PLA, but we will see. This is a really different thing from PLA. When sanding PLA, you cannot see usually those lines. This one is like, wants to separate the layers from the part. So maybe that's why it comes like that. But yeah, you can polish 3D printed part for sure. You can. Just needs a lot of elbow grease. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and share, and I hope I will see you in the next one.